Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Once again, we're here with Sukhwinder Benji, Sukhwinder Kaur. We are continuing with our series of sexual grooming. And just to recap, Benji, if we can just let our viewers know what we talked about last time, basically what takes place, what sexual grooming is, and who are these people, and who are they targeting? If you can just recap a little bit for us.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
Khalsa,
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ we are talking about the issue of sexual grooming and sexual grooming in short words in simple explanation is taking advantage of children and teens sexually and physically for predators' own benefit.
Okay. Okay, and who are who are they targeting? Who
ਜਿਸ
is
ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ
the target audience for them?
ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਆਡੀਅנसेस ਐਨੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੇਨ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਵਾਈਟ ਅਮਰੀਕਨਸ ਪਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵਾਈ ਇਜ਼ ਇਟ ਸਿਗਨੀਫਿਕੈਂਟ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਡਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਨੋ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦਿਸ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਆਫ ਸੈਕਸ਼ੂਅਲ ਗਰੂਮਿੰਗ and why we became their most favorite target is because we are unaware and we don't know how to handle this issue. And this is the reason we are sitting here and talking about. So our community, our families, and our children and youth can be made aware of this issue. So we don't remain their favorite target because of our unawareness.
Okay, so you mentioned personal benefit. Can we talk a little bit more about that? I know a lot of time when we talk about sexual grooming, that word kind of brings in, you know, sochni of prostitution. Is this anywhere related to sexual grooming? What are they basically targeting?
That's a very good question. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਅਨਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਕਰਕੇ we don't have time to think about it or look into any issues. So the first impression or first thought that goes into our families' mind or our youth's mind or our communities collectively that it is something to do with prostitution. But it is not. It is very different from prostitution. As we know, the issue of prostitution, many times, people choose on their own because of their will or their circumstances, and many times it is for their own benefit. They get something out of it. So sexual grooming is completely different, where the child, the teen, is deceived and led into some dark world of abuse against their will through deceptive measures.
Okay.
And where there's no benefit for the child, but or the teen or the youth, so to say, but complete 100% benefit for the predator. So it's completely different from the issue of prostitution.
Okay, so let's continue on. When we talk about sexual grooming, what are the, how do we how does somebody recognizes कि एक कुड़ी नू किवें पता लगेगा कि this person is not a regular person who is in love with me or who wants good for me. What are some recognition points that parents need to be aware of and these girls need to be aware of?
First of all, to start with the girls, it is a very, very difficult issue, the whole process to talk about. Because girls, like as a human being, girls or youth or any person, you see a nice person, you feel at once impressed by that person. Sure. The person is helpful, you at once feel impressed by it, and you think he or he's your friend. So what these predators do, they work on that psychology.
Okay.
So they are, when you meet them, they are the most charming people, they are the most nice people. So you would almost think the girls whosoever they are targeting or talking to, they would think, oh, this is the nicest person I have ever met. But it is all a fake nice, complete fake nice. Um, they know themselves. It's not that they are nice and then they are going to take advantage of the child later on. No, they act nice. They know all those psychology, the psychology of niceness, how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So the girls should know if somebody is going out of the way to be nice
Sure.
or charming,
Sure.
giving gifts, giving something free to them. They should at once be, in the back of their mind, they should have a little warning,
Anji.
because, in the regular process of life, we don't really, Pindarji, if you really think, you don't come across way too nice people, giving you gifts, calling you, and
It's only when
showering.
you have that personal benefit that this is gonna get somewhere for me.
Yeah, and it is very difficult to sort of recognize, okay, is this, a it is it a regular process of life? Is it a regular nice person or not?
Mm. Yeah.
Because in the generality of life, for us, nice equals trust. You can trust. But here's what we are giving a little tool to the youth, and we are asking the youth or the teen or even the families that be warned if there is um, an excessive niceness, excessive gifts, excessive friendship, um, in,
Sure. Yeah.
excessive niceness.
Yeah.
It is a fake nice.
Okay. So that's from the girl's perspective. How about parents' perspective? You know, talk about how we as parents can handle this issue from the beginning, from the get-go, where it won't go far enough where a person is able to take advantage of our daughters.
See, see ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, what we are saying between us, that extreme niceness, extreme friendship, ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ gift ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ, parents should talk to their children. They should talk to their daughters that yes, you'll be talking to other people, you'll be talking to boys, you'll be talking to men, but don't be, unfortunately, in the culture of Bollywood or even Hollywood, I would say.
Yeah.
So this is something like people, girls think they're sort of, in their mind, this is something, their dream come true.
Yeah.
Somebody's being nice to them, somebody's bringing flowers to them, somebody's, showering all the gifts on them.
Sure.
So parents, the way we are talking about, parents need to talk to the youth and girls that it is not always what it seems.
Yes.
They need to be very, very careful.
And I guess just to add to that, just something came to mind that maybe this girl is not getting enough love and care at home. And sometimes, girls look for that outside of home environment. And that could be a very, you know, very much a weakness of that girl to get, you know, stuck with a predator like this.
That can be the case that, as you said, a regular person, if he has had enough attention at home, I would say, I, in my experience, you would be like, wow,
Yes.
this
Yes.
is just, but a child who's deprived of
Exactly.
attention,
Yes.
that child or a teen or a person, they might think, oh, wow,
This
they
is what I
may
wanted.
connect, to
Yes.
that niceness and that care, that attention as a genuine attention.
Yes.
But I do have to add that it's not actually always girls that get, trapped like this,
Okay.
because predator has a set mind. Let's say a predator comes across a person who's not deprived,
Yeah.
who's not attention deprived. That predator will do 1,000 times more effort
Exactly.
to trap that
Yes.
person,
Yes.
to trap that child. So it goes both ways. The main focus is, not main focus is the predator's technique. And as you said, on the other hand, parents, yes, they should give enough attention, but also the kids who get enough attention, they
Do.
should also know this can happen to them also. Because if they come across any predator, it's not gonna matter that they got attention or
Or
not.
not, yes.
Predator has set eyes on that child or a youth or a person, that predator will do anything and everything um, to trap that person.
Okay. So that was recognition. Let's talk about some techniques that, that have been used by predators, and what should we be looking for?
Uh, the first is as the sign. The person, the child, the youth will feel they have met the beautiful person
Hmm.
on this earth. The second is, as we talked about, giving gifts like cell phones and, showering gifts, offering dinners and lunches, and it could seem like for a child or a youth a regular,
Yes,
friendship, or regular, even a date, the best date.
yes.
Um,
So, recognition techniques we're talking about. What about, you know, what as far as, can you give us an example of, something that's happened with somebody, where, these techniques were used, and what kind of techniques were used? If you don't mind, maybe something, I know we talked about a little bit of, your personal, background on this as well, and maybe you can, if you want to give a personal example or something that you have come across that people really need to be, parents really need to be aware of.
so the first, actually, I would like to talk about any teen or a child. What happens, as we said, um, first of all, niceness, the fake charm,
Yes.
giving gifts, all that, the best friend they could ever have, the best boyfriend they could ever have. So once the child, they gain the child's or the teen or the youth's trust, then they start into controlling tactics. We can go into that
Okay.
in little more details. So once they know the child has, they have gained the child, the teens, the youth's trust, the controlling tactics start.
Hmm. Okay.
Even actually, I should say, before the trust, they their whole plan is planned out. They do something that they have a material to blackmail them.
Okay.
Let's say they have, they gave them something in the drink, which is the normal technique that these predators use after the child is trapped. So they are going um, to a simple dinner. They're going to a simple date. They're going to simple. I'm going to say clubbing, which is
Sure.
also the
Sure.
regular part of
Sure.
the process. So the child, the teen, is given something into their drink. This is the, where the predator prepares how to blackmail and silence the child. Now
Okay.
the trust is gained,
Yeah.
so the regular date setting is there, and now the blackmailing and silencing technique. So the when the child is, drinking or something, they put something into their drink, the child lose conscience, and then they do whatever they,
Ever they.
yes, and take pictures and whatnot. And that's where the whole controlling tactics start.
Okay.
That's where they,
Where they're not able to go back to their parents and tell
parents,
them anything that might have happened. It might be easier beforehand for a child to tell her parents, that, this is what I'm doing outside of home. But
or
by the,
have met that person,
exactly, yes.
and that person is this. um, they could have a dialogue. Maybe a parent was aware that was this person really, what kind of, you know
Hmm.
attention he's throwing,
Yes, yes,
on the child. And maybe it could have stopped before that. There could
exactly,
have been
exactly.
some intervention.
Sure.
And I mean, many scenarios, like you said, if the child was not having an attention and now was getting outside attention, if the parent knew, and then the parent could intervene
Sure.
that what's going on here.
But it's too late
Too
when
late.
once they've totally entered into that stage of relationship, and it's hard uh, to really make people aware, especially parents aware, if that predator is blackmailing you now with the pictures they might have taken or whatever
See,
techniques they have used.
see, the youth was all the young child. They were already feeling guilty. The parents are not to know.
Yes, yes. And
And
that's kind of
now,
what's engrossed in our heads also from
yeah,
the beginning, that we're not supposed to do something bad.
bad, yeah,
As six, as girls, we're supposed to keep quiet,
yeah,
even if something bad has happened.
yeah.
Um,
So they have done so many mistakes. They have talked to somebody they were not supposed to.
sure.
Now they have developed a relationship with somebody they were not supposed to. And now they're trapped. What do they do? And now the consequences are, oh, their pictures will go on the internet. Their family's honor is online.
Yes.
So what do they do? And by this time, I actually want to go back. By this time, they are gotten used to drugs, alcohol,
Yes. Yes. Which is adding on to the
adding
problem.
on to the problem. And even, so 99% of the times children give up.
Yes.
And not only now they can't go back, now they're addicted to certain things that these predators now allure. Okay, we'll give you this,
This.
and you do this for us.
And it's just kind of for that child, it's too late to go back.
To go back,
And
yes.
and even if they do go back, have we had anyone who has come out and you know I don't think there have been many parents who have come out and let other parents know, or um,
Or go
the
seek help
criminal justice know if there's something that's going on with my child.
with, yeah. It's I mean, when we look at our community in England who has had this problem for a long time,
Yes.
even the parents, won't talk about it. They would tell the child, you better not even tell your dad
Oh wow.
there's something like this happened.
Wow.
So, I mean, this whole thing was lost for many, many years until just recently when we understood this issue that, here it's not the girls that girls will go out or have friends and
Sure.
boyfriends anyhow. That happens. We accept it or not.
Yes.
That happens anyhow. But it is not the fault of those girls who went out and made a friend. It is the fault of the predator who was planning to make your child a friend,
Yes. Yes.
to lead into this, dark hell.
Oh, yeah.
And your child had no tools to recognize him, and your child has no tools to come back to you. Your child has no tools to go to criminal justice.
Hmm.
Your child has no tools to get help.
So they're pretty much stuck with this predator who will continue blackmailing the child. Um, have you learned of? I know we've talked about children, girls. Have there been women who've been under attack by these predators?
I wanted to now come back to my situation. It is very horrible. Um, I was new in US. This predator thought my family is not here, and you'll see why my family not being here is important.
Yes.
And my husband is busy in his work almost all the time, and I had like 8 and 9 year old children. I didn't know this person personally. It was just some part of a profession that I had made a single phone call.
Yes.
And from that, this predator calculated my circumstances and situation, that this predator had a background where he tried to trap on other sick girls.
Hmm.
Actually, in the city of Houston, he was beaten by sick brothers.
Oh.
So he, or whatever circumstances were important to him, he had calculated. And you wouldn't believe, like, these predators can prey upon teens and little children as friends and boyfriends, leading even to marriages. With a married woman, he threatened me, it is to shame you and shame your family.
Wow. So they'll go to extremes.
So I'm like very confused. Like, why somebody I don't even know would want to shame me, shame my brothers who don't even live here, and shame um, my parents who don't even live here, and that, and threatening to bully my children to rape them.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole thing didn't make sense. But if you look at from the predator's point of view, it was making sense. It was a married woman. She was not gonna go home and say that this person is threatening me of shaming. Like, I would have never talked to my husband because I couldn't even understand myself.
What's going? What is he trying to gain out of this?
What is, yeah, the only thing I could do is not contact him. But in his mind, if he could, if he could threaten me that it is to shame you for who you are, what your family is, and I don't even know why my family is different.
Yeah.
You know, how could my family out of the whole world will be different now? It is to, that I have to go through shame for who my family is, what my brothers are. So it was whole, and then it's about raping of 8 and 9 year old children, and why the father is not there,
Yes.
why father's shame is not involved.
Yeah.
So it was, the whole thing was confusing.
Sure.
So I never contacted this person back. But in this predator's mind, it was a very solid opportunity. I had nobody to go to help to.
Sure. Sure.
You know,
Which he.
if I tell somebody shaming me, and people will ask me, why shame you?
Yes.
What is it that it is about
What have
shame?
you done?
What have you done? What have your family done? What is it about shaming you? What is the whole, reason, or the some secret behind it?
Yes.
Because nobody will understand that there is actually no secret. This person is just looking at my circumstances
And
and
taking advantage.
and he has done this with other sick families, and now a sick married woman with children called him, and he has this opportunity.
Yes. Yes.
So I myself was, and Pindarji, I mean, this person, as I said, who this child is, deprived or not,
Yes.
had attention or not, actually it is of minimal significance, because once the predator has an eye on you, has thought of a possibility about you, that person, that predator will go to the extreme
Hmm.
to trap you and feel almost, how could I not be successful? It's almost like a power game for him.
Yeah.
So my family went through a lot of difficult circumstances and losses, because this predator was bent on proving that it was to shame me
Shame you.
and my family.
I know we talked about personal benefit. Can we give examples of what personal benefit are these predators gaining? What are they gaining out of, grooming these kids, the girls, or grooming a married woman? W- Give me, give us some examples of the personal benefit that these predators are gaining.
See, our first of all, we will think, okay, individual sexual fulfillment. Not at all. It is not just about individual sexual, like a rapist would do, a predator would do. That's there. Because if they were not that,
Yeah.
they wouldn't think of creating some kind of a business out of it.
And have these
Techniques of trapping
Mhm.
and this, predatory chasing the victim mind. So the benefit, Pindarji, you wouldn't believe, in many cases, some of these girls were being abused and raped by 30 men
Oh
in a
wow.
single day.
Wow.
And they would charge these 30 men maybe 100 to $200. So big money is involved.
Mm.
So they make millions of dollars doing
So it's
this.
business.
It is business.
Wow.
So it's like a rapist or a predator coming up with a business of what he does and offering this to others in his community. And that's why, we wanted to focus on certain things within Pakistani community, that we are not blaming Pakistani
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
when we talk about this. We are saying that within our community, at least in these foreign countries, we don't have any Sikh or Hindu coming up with such kind of business
Hmm.
or having many customers who would want to rape a 9-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. But there is that those kind of people within Pakistani community that these predators are serving and making money.
And that's where most of the examples have come out from is the Pakistani community that we've known of and that we have factual information on.
Factual information. And the factual information, in fact, Arpinderji, they do it within their own community too.
Mm.
Why should we sit here and talk about it? Because how we handle these issues,
Sure.
how we understand these issues, and how we did not understand these issues, how our parents, our youth didn't know, we became a number one community to target for these predators.
Yeah.
We
Because
wouldn't we will think of these issues in terms of shame.
shame.
Here's a predator trying to make millions of dollars on
Dollars.
your child,
Yes.
and here you are keeping silent for some unreal
Yeah.
aspect of shame,
Yeah.
community shame and
So we
whatnot.
need to wake up and really
Yeah,
really tell ourselves, are we who are we benefiting out of this? Are we benefiting these predators because they're earning this much money from your child, or are we looking into our child and seeing what hell they're going through,
yeah.
as being trapped in this? So
Because do you think, if this shaming wasn't worked, this predator would have tried a shaming tactics with a married woman?
yeah,
He thought it will work quickly
yes,
because, in their experience, they had been even successful with teens.
mm, yeah,
So shaming here, we are sitting silent. Oh, this is a community shame. This is a personal shame. And what they are doing is prying upon Sikh community exactly for that, to make millions of dollars.
yes. Yes. So we thank you to continue with these series of sexual grooming and giving us how to recognize and how to um, what techniques these predators use, and I feel we'll continue in more in depth into this in further series. Thank you so much, Benji.
Upendraji, before we conclude,
Sure.
let's just, sort of give 4 or 5 points for our community and for our families to remember. So, as you said,
Yeah.
talk to your child.
Yes. Yes.
Talk to your child every day. Give them attention. Be part of their life, not just at home, not just at Gurdwara, but what they do outside. Give them a safe environment to come home
Yeah,
and
where
talk.
they can tell you what exactly is happening in their life.
Make them aware of other issues. I don't hesitate that this issue each and every family should know about, and shouldn't hesitate from saying that yes, this issue of Pakistani community has impacted our families
Yes.
the most, and our families should talk about this issue with the youth within themselves, and they should know what it is. They should put aside the shame, personal shame and family shame.
Yes.
um, and if something ever happens, and be supportive for others if they
Other.
ever go through.
Sure.
Um, But again, I really like the idea that we said that even before this happens, give a safe environment for your
A
children,
loving environment to your
loving, and
children, so
so they can come and talk to you if they ever go through a problem.
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Wa-
so much.
Waheguru Ji Ka
Bye.
Khalsa,
Bye, Gurji
Ji
Ki
Ki
Fateh.
Fateh.